Antigua Almost Paradise by Jill Braithwaite, 18 years old. God, it cold, was my first thought after going through customs and walking outside. People were walking around the airport in shorts and tank tops, and there I was shivering in my borrowed coat. Making the transition from the weather in Antigua to the weather in New York was one experience I could have done without. Even though it was August, I was freezing. I had been to New York a couple times before, and it wasn't very dear to my heart. On one visit, my cousin and I were returning from the park one day, and as we were going into the elevator, a man got on with us. When the door opened on the 5th floor, he snatched my chain. He was never caught. New York City still owes me a 14-karat gold necklace. New York is a great city, but it's nowhere near as beautiful as Antigua, a small island in the Caribbean. My whole country could fit in the borough of Queens, and there would still be room left over. But it has room for 365 beaches, one for every day of the year. When it's a leap year, you take a shower on the extra day and repeat the process all over. The water in Antigua is a beautiful deep blue-green, and the sands are white and gold. When you walk, you can feel the warmth right through your soul. At New York beaches, the water is so murky you can't even see your feet, and the sand is just a few shades lighter. I grew up in St. John's, the capital. Every Saturday morning, I used to wake up early to go to market. When I arrived, I saw people coming off buses from all over the island to buy fruits, vegetables, meat, and fish. The market is like a huge kaleidoscope. Reds of apples and beets, greens of okra, cabbage, fresh figs, and papaya, oranges of carrots, sweet potatoes, and pumpkins, and yellows of grapefruits, pineapples, and bananas. The meat and fish market is in a separate building. Here you see butchers in their stalls chopping up whole cows, their once white smocks all blood-stained. Sometimes you have to hold your nose. Other vendors sit with big baskets filled with doctor fish, angelfish, snappers, barracuda, shark, crab, shellfish, and all types of seafood. In Antigua, we use what Mother Nature provides as best we can and try not to waste anything. I used to have mango, coconut, lime, tangerine, orange, passion fruit, soursop, and pear trees right in my backyard. I miss being able to go out back and pick a fruit, wash it, then eat it. In New York, I can only dream of doing things like that. The people in my building use the little yard at the back as a convenient garbage dump. But in some ways, life in New York is easier. Students here are always complaining about how unfair the school system is, that they can't do anything they want. But in comparison to the school system in Antigua, you people are living in the lap of luxury. Here I'll sit in class and watch students insult their teachers and think to myself, they wouldn't last a day in Antigua. They'd have more welts on their backs, than a tiger has stripes. Teachers there don't take any lip from students. In my old school, if you had so much as the top button of your uniform, that's right, uniform, open, you received 1 demerit. 3 demerits equaled 1 detention. And every Thursday at 3 p.m., that's where you'd find me. In the primary school that I attended, 2 bells were rung after recess. At the sound of the first, you were supposed to freeze, stop whatever you were doing. When the second bell rang, you went back to class. No side trips to the bathroom. And as I found out the hard way, no side trips to buy candy. The first and last time I tried doing that, the headmaster caught me, and I got 3 lashes across my back with his infamous belt. It's rare that you get beaten in secondary school, but it does happen sometimes. My brother's headmaster would make students kneel on gravel and then beat them with a tamarind switch. One reason I like New York is because if a teacher tried to do something like that, it would be the last time she raised her hand to anyone. Parents in the United States are not as strict with their children as Antiguan parents either. American parents encourage their daughters' interest in boys. They allow them to wear makeup at 13 or 14 and let them bring their boyfriends home to meet the family. If you're an Antiguan girl, you don't talk to your parents about makeup before 16, or in some cases, 18. And you don't talk to them about boys ever. For the last 4 years, I've been living in the Bronx. And I must admit, I do enjoy being able to do certain things that I wouldn't have dared to do in Antigua, like walking out of school anytime I want without having to ask permission. But then I remember the things I missed most about Antigua, like all the open space. In New York, all you see are big, ugly buildings and wine bottles here and there to brighten the place up. If Antigua had all the opportunities that New York has, I would be back there so fast that Superman would be the one asking if I was a bird or a plane.